For society, I can say when you find the good, it's really good. When you find the bad, it's really bad. The biggest trend of bad that has been ongoing right now, other than the violence, is the molestation of persons with intellectual disability. I don't think a day goes when you don't see NGOs and community-based organizations that deal with child rescue talking about rescuing children with intellectual disability who've been molested. Sometimes it's even so scary that the molester is actually their biological parent. Yeah, and you wonder where it's going on. And with the oncoming of COVID, it's made life harder. Yeah, so there's a lot more negative happening because with all that was going on, most families had to isolate fast and have to isolate longer. And also if because of the kind of care that you need with our kids and their sensory issues and they're not being able to handle some of these things, it's a sure death sentence if one of you gets COVID and it comes home or they get it. So it's made life more complicated, more expensive, more difficult. And also regression has been a factor because things that can be done one-on-one like therapy had to stop because you don't want somebody coming to your child next to your child when you don't know what their COVID status is. So for the societal end of it, that will be. When it comes to positive, you'll find that if you find a loving community and a network of support, it makes life not only beautiful, it gives you a different perspective. And your children, actually, if you're raising children with intellectual disability, they actually become better human beings. Yeah, they're even better than their neurodiverse, their neurotypical siblings because they get, once they're confident, yeah, they're very confident. I know you interact with my children, so you can tell the difference of how they've been raised. Yeah, the confidence they portray, even when they're wrong, you cannot have that argument with them. Yeah,
and that's bully them.
That doesn't happen. Yeah, they may get emotional about you bullying them because they don't understand why you're being negative, but as individuals, they will never be the ones to start the fight.
Yes.
So they will be nice social members. They'll be nice members of the society. And they believe in fairness. So what you do to me, I have to do it to you. Yeah, so it's like going back to the Old Testament, an eye for an eye. So if you're mean, I have to be mean.
Scores.
Yeah, sometimes getting that across to them doesn't work. But as a parent, when it goes right, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing to raise them. But also it involves you being open-minded. Yeah, open-minded and having a thick skin. Yeah. Because even when people, like on a personal level, I get angry when somebody tells me sorry. And I'm thinking, why are you being sorry? What mistake was done here? Yeah. Who offended who? Yeah? Because when you tell me sorry for my children, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking,
it's like there was a choice.
Even if there was a choice, they're here. But why are you telling me sorry? What are we being sorry about? Yeah. So even that becomes an issue that the society needs to watch. How do you talk to a parent on this spectrum? Because sometimes some of us will ignore you. Others, it's a trigger effect. Yeah, they will be angry at you and you'll wonder why. Yeah. When it comes to the setup of places like play zones, social events, it's not catered for our children. We don't have that. So I want to take my child to a swimming zone. It will be so noisy and the swimming zone hasn't thought that it would be good business practice to have a place where they can have a noise blockout zone. Yeah, so that doesn't exist. On the society level, maybe also the government and the people who train for this world need to also do a needs assessment and see what is needed for my child to thrive equally with the other child, who is on the neurotypical. So you're looking at, like, if it's teachers, how many are we training and really training them properly for that? If it's therapists, how many do we have? Like, I look at the demand for speech therapists in our world versus the number of speech therapists available. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Even when it comes to occupational therapy, you go like, how many do we're still training the 7 per year per institute. Kenya Medical Training Colleges, KMTCs, they're still training a class of 10 per year. While the market demand is right now, it's at 500 a year. Yeah, so we end up having a lot of foreign therapists live in Kenya. And when they move into Kenya, they're charging their rates that they were used to in Europe and the US, which makes it difficult. So I'm hoping we'll reach a point whereby this becomes a service like any other. You step into school, the teacher is paid for by the government, the therapist is paid by the government, the caregiver is paid for by the government. And even when you're home, I am given a respite caregiver so that as a parent I can take some time out and just be me. And while I'm being me, then there is a respite caregiver, somebody fully trained to take care of my child within the government system. Yeah.
So I feel like we're going on well, and by now you're getting the real situation on the ground, like what actually happens in the world of those people who are living with, affected, and raising children with disabilities in as a whole.